Hey guys, I just want to speak to one brother to another, or whoever you are on the other side of this phone. I may not know you. I may know you. I may not know you, and I may know someone on the other side of this phone from school, or I may talk to you in some shape or form. But I just want to speak to one person to another, just because it's been a rough couple of days. Well, a rough couple of weeks with all the rain, with all the like weather and other stuff going on. It's just been a rough week, I think, for a rough 2 weeks for a lot of us, especially. But I want to speak to one brother to another in this video. And if you don't watch any of my videos, please watch this one. I'm not going to try to take too long. I don't want to make this video too long. But I don't want to make it too short either, to the point where I'm not really getting my point across. But I just want to speak to one brother to another. So, I don't know if you guys listen to Christian music or not, but on my Spotify playlist this morning, I was playing 2K off camera. I wasn't making a video, I was just playing 2K. And Running Back to You by Chef Sleater came on, and it just spoke to me in a way that I've heard that song thousands of times. But today, that song just completely spoke to me in a different way. And like, I'm not going to say that, it's not even about that. But that was kind of like a background of what I'm explaining in the video. But I promise you, if you're going through a rough time, it will end. Rough times don't last. And I saw a quote about a week and a half ago that completely changed my perception on a lot of things. And it goes like this: tough times don't last, but tough people do. When I heard that quote, it almost brought me to tears, because a lot of times a lot of us, like, as soon as tough times come, we just start whining like a baby. And let's be real here, that's a lot of us probably watching this video, and that was probably me. I'd sit here and say I can't do it. But then 2 weeks later, I'm glad I went through it, because it taught me some life lessons. Hard times teach me life lessons that otherwise I wouldn't know if I didn't go through those hard times. And I just one brother to another, it's just like, hey, if you're going through something right now, man, I promise you will learn something from it on the other side. And I promise you, you'll get stronger. And like sometimes, like when you go through stuff, especially like mentally, if you use the struggles to get stronger, you will be strong. You will become stronger, mentally, physically, or whatever you're going through. So I advise you that, check in on people you love. Hit them up. If you have their number, send them a text. If you have their Snapchat, send them a message on Snapchat. If they have Instagram, etc., whatever they have, man, hit them up. It doesn't have to be, a long conversation. It doesn't have to be a whole paragraph. It just means to say, hey, man, how you holding up? I mean, just saying, hey, how you holding up? It goes a long way, especially when they're going through something and they're masking it. A lot of times we mask our pain because we think people will judge us, and we think people will, view us a different way if we talk about it. And I promise you, if you have the right friends, you could tell them anything, especially, if you have the right, significant other near you, if you have a good boyfriend, good girlfriend, whoever you are. It's just like, if you have the right people around you, you could tell them anything. And especially Especially, it's really hard when that significant other is not in your life, or if that friend is no longer in your life, or if that family member that you spent a lot of time with is no longer in your life. It's hard. It's hard to go through people passing. I've been through that before. In 2018, I lost my aunt, one of my aunts, to lung cancer, and this was an aunt I was incredibly close to, and they used to actually watch me and babysit me when my grandparents would always drop me off at her house, and I love it at her house because she had this like it was a bowl of rocks, and I would remember getting one out of it, and I would ask her if this was smooth or solid. So please, if you know anyone that's going through a hard time right now, please hit them up. Especially if you think they're masking it, or especially if, because like I said, the right friends will see through the facade and know something's not right. I'm lucky enough to have good people around me that knows when I'm pretending things are okay when they're not. I mean, it's really not hard. I mean, it's really not easy going through. It's really hard going through tough times. It really is. I mean, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And at the end of the day, when you go through hard times, that just means you're getting stronger. I believe God isn't going to put something in your way that you can't overcome. I mean, it's in your way for a reason. So, whatever you're going through it for a reason. In order for you to be able to handle the right friendships, you're going to have to be lonely at times. You're just going to have to, if you want the right people around you, if you want to meet your soulmate or whatever you want to call it, you're just going to have to be lonely for a little bit, because you're going to have to be able to, handle that. Yeah, sure, a lot of us be like, oh, I want to live in a penthouse. But if you actually think about it, can you really handle living in a penthouse? Can you handle actually, living in that? It takes a level of responsibility. Yeah, sure, we could watch our favorite, NBA, NFL, or whatever player. We could watch our favorite, player, play basketball on TV. But can one of us really handle that much responsibility? For an example, LeBron James. People like LeBron James. People who don't like LeBron James, but whatever you think of him, if you would have taken LeBron James' spot, could you really handle that responsibility? Because when there's power, there's responsibility, and when things happen, there's responsibility. I remember when I was little, I wanted to be famous just like every other kid. Every little kid wants to be famous, but when they grow up to about maybe 15 or something like that, they start to mature, and when they start to mature, they start to realize that there's a level of responsibility when it comes to being rich. It's not, oh, well, I have all this money, I can do what I want with it. It's not like that. You have a bunch of taxes, you have all this other stuff to play. So it's just like personal life. When you have friends, you have that responsibility to make sure they're okay. You have responsibility. So when you have good things, responsibilities come with it. So just remember, when you're going through something, it's for a reason. And I'm about to sign off here. But check in on your friends, check in on your family. Always ask them if they're okay. I mean, time isn't forever, You never know, man. Life is temporary, man. We're on this earth for temporary, and I just believe that. I believe that God puts things in your path for a reason, and I just hope that this could motivate you, and I hope that this, helps you get the strength that you need to continue, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, without some struggles, we would never appreciate the good times. And if it never rained, we would never see a rainbow. And if we never had pain, then we would never will be thankful. And valleys, flowers grow in the valley. So just remember that. And I'm signing off here. So subscribe, like if you want more videos. I hope you like my new song. Sorry for the malfunction of whatever happened. I don't know why it says it came out. It came out yesterday. I don't know why it doesn't say that. But I scheduled it to come out yesterday. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this motivated you.